Hey, Steve Zook here. Welcome back to Poke Zoo Channel. Hey, they're doing some construction next door, so I apologize for the noise if it picks up. But this is kind of a freebie. I'm kind of combining some free instruction here along with this guitar, which, by the way, is only $2.99. This has really got a great jazz on. I'm not kidding you. It really does. It's got tons of fret left. You could use a cleaning. It's got a couple little marks on the back of the neck here. Looks like a couple, it's not in the headstock area, it's down about 2 or 3 inches below. A couple places where it looks like a couple very shallow, cracks in the paint that are maybe half an inch. I mean, this guitar is fine. I'm telling you, man, if you could use a nice jazz box, you'll be blown away at the sound for $2.99. Listen to that. And this is solid state amp. I haven't played much today, so excuse that. Shading. But what I'm going to do here is cycle number 1 in my Guitarladder system is this, and I got a special right now going. I did this a while back, and they sold out pretty quick. It's normally $2.99 for the 40 videos and the 20 scans, and you actually end up getting more than 40 videos and more than 20 scans. But anyway, normally $2.99. It's like getting a couple thousand in guitar lessons. But I'm doing 50 of them for $1.99. But let me just get to this. But in the Guitarladder system, this is chord cycle number 1, like this. It's a major 7, diminished minor. This is so good for your ear training, and it really does. It's like getting a subconscious musical steroid shot. I'm missing one fingernail, so. Now what we're doing here is just a slight variation. As opposed to going like this, check out the difference here. You flat the 5 on the major 7, and then you go to a 13, major 13, flat 5. So as opposed to this, right, you're going to go, and then the minor 7, and then that common tone of this note, minor 7, and as opposed to going to here, we're going to go, okay, learn about shading. Major 13, flat 5, then to the minor 9, major 13, flat 5, again to 7 sharp 5, resolved to major 7. So normally that chord cycle number 1 goes like this. Okay, and what I'm showing you here is how to learn how to, if you practice correctly, you'll take a huge quantum leap if you're doing the right material. I haven't seen anything out there like what I do, and like I said, this is a result of me studying with Joe Pass, Tony Rizzi, Horace Hatchett, who taught Howard Roberts how to play when they were in Arizona. Howard Roberts started GIT, MIT, one of the best players ever. This is a result of over 40 years of study and studying with some great players and coming up my own system. It's all my own material, but I borrow a little bit of the approach of Horace Hatchett in terms of emphasizing a lot of chordal work. Because when you do chordal work, like Joe Pass told me when I took some lessons from him, that if you really want to take a quantum leap, you need to get into, he told me chord melody, but I think he wasn't the most verbal guy in the world. The point was, if you get into learning about tension and resolution and chord melody, it's just as tremendous for your ear training. And you learn about the interior and exterior movement of chords, and you soak it up on a subconscious level. So this is a good example of how I practice. I'm always looking for some new way to put things together. Always looking for new tension and resolution, new ways to put 3 or 4 or 5 chords together. Here's a good example of that. But anyway, so cycle number one in my Guitarladder system is this. And if you're really serious about your guitar playing, I'm telling you, man, don't even think about it. Spend the $1.99. I guarantee you'll be blown. Might take you 6 months to a year, but you'll have a quantum leap. It's almost, I know that you're going to think this sounds like BS, but almost like you're born into a different family. Because I've had students with no musical talent at all. Here's the variation, see? So as opposed to the diminished to the minor like that, we're going to go. And you can flat the 5 on the major 7. Nice little shading there. I've had people, like I said, do my system with very little musical talent that just exploded and all of a sudden really start evolving. It's just amazing. Okay. that going. See, you know, I mean, there's no end to. That's the whole idea. Is once you start doing my cycles, you're gonna find yourself just, you know, you'll be playing on your guitar, and you'll just start moving and taking off and resolving and going outside and coming back. It's just, it's an amazing process that actually works. So again, cycle number 1 was this in my Guitarladder system, and again the variation here, and then it resolves, you know, down like this. But I'm telling you, man, if you're serious about becoming the best guitar player you can be and learning how to compose and learning how to wake up your own musical mind, just invest the $199 and woodshed an hour a day, and you'll be blown away. I guarantee that. It works, man. It works. So here's the variation again. Or you can take that major 7 and flat the 5, which kind of makes a nice, you know, transition to that chord, right? See the nice smooth voice leading? Everything's nice and close. Using common tone, hear that note right there? Common tone. Now I want to start. That's the whole idea. It's like, it's hard for me to stick with. And that's the whole point. You start doing all these chord cycles, which some of them are in my book, Modern. You also get 11 chord cycles from my book, Modern Chord Cycles with a Guitar, that I published back in the 80s. But this system works. So here I'm just trying to give you an example of the thinking process, and it's all about process. If you practice correctly and you have great material, you'll take a leap that might take you 10 years, or you might never do on your own, because it's really makes a lot of difference what you work on, okay? And guitar is the easiest instrument in the world just to screw around on and just keep doing the same thing and everything. But you take your really great artists like Eric Johnson. I love to bring him up because he's such his compositions are so strong. You take a great artist like Eric Johnson, you know, or, you know, Pat Metheny, people like that, you know, they put in the time to learn, or, you know, Al Di Meola, even though, you know, I prefer his acoustic stuff, but he writes some pretty sweet compositions, man, you know what I mean? Borelli Legren's really one of my favorites. Anyway, so here's cycle number 1 again, was this, right? So here we're adding the flat 5, the major 7, then we're using that common tone right here. Major 13, flat 5 does not have the flat 7 like a dominant chord. It's one of my favorite chords. Minor 7, and then we use that common tone right there. Another major 13, flat 5, minor 7. You could throw another one in here too, right? You could throw a 13, flat 5, flat 9. Anyway, so we have that. There's no end to this. And again, if you practice correctly, if you practice the right way, you'll get a quantum leap, because all of a sudden you'll be playing your guitar and you'll just, like, you'll want to go somewhere else, you know. And that's the whole idea. Is if every time you practice, you learn. I think Joe Pass said something like once, like, nothing makes him happier than even just once a week or once every 2 weeks he finds a new way to connect 2 or 3 chords. You know, that's one of my favorite chords too, by the way. It's this bichord. It's a combination minor 7 and major 9, right? Polychord. So would be this. Polychord is a scale tone 3rd. But I'm telling you, folks, I know I'm a high energy guy, and I know I'm a bit pushy here about selling stuff at times. But hey, man, I'm an artist. Music and guitars are my passion in life, and I'm telling you straight up, man, this guitar system works. The Guitarladder system works. If you have a little intuition, a little hunch to maybe buy the system, don't even think about it. Do it. Because I charge $100 an hour for lessons. I got people driving a couple hundred miles or more to take from me. I'm not trying to brag. I give God, the universe, all the credit. But I've worked my ass off over the years. And, you know, if you really want to take a quantum leap, do this system. You're going to learn so much about the 7 to 10 systems of improvisation. And just by going through this, I teach the subconscious mind, man. You're going to learn about this. So I got to get off here so this downloads. But I'll catch you on the next, the next video. All right, take care, and remember, everybody, the universe is unfolding in time, not unraveling. And then $2.99 on this. pay by PayPal. It doesn't come with a case. But I'm telling you, man, I wouldn't have bought this guitar if it wasn't sweet. It's a great guitar. Really has a wonderful sound. I have the back pickup real low because I'm just trying to pull more of a jazz sound out. But yeah, if you could use a great jazz box, $299, tons of fret left. It's barely been played, and it's a bitchin' guitar. These Oscar Schmidts are what are they? The OE40, and I think this one's probably Korean made, even though it says made. I know it says made in China on the bottom, but the serial number looks more like. Unless that just means Sammy. But usually when I see the S in front, it's Korean made. So it doesn't really matter. It's a great guitar. Trust me on that one. All right, Steve, 714-548-0385. If you could use a great jazz box, you will love this guitar. And it's not just a great jazz guitar for $299. It's a great box, believe me. All right, take care.